when I got off my shift. I remember being happy. I was happy. I know when I go home, I'm going to end my life. I was happy. I'm going to be free.
While she bikes through the dark, empty streets, she notices a red car parked in front of a church.
I don't know why. It seemed odd to me. And I just kind of shrugged it off. It's like, I'll be okay.
She ignores her instinct, but the driver of the car is hiding behind a parked van.
Next thing I was just yanked off my bicycle, horrifically, just so forceful. Knocked the breath out of me. I felt the barrel of a gun to my left temple. I remember him putting a blindfold on my face. I was ordered to take all my clothes off. He ties me up, ligatures on my wrists, ankles.
Throws me in the car, yells at me to keep my eyes shut, and that if I showed him a good time, he was not going to kill me.
My grandmother's boyfriend used to put a gun in my head every time he molested me for 3 years. It was nothing new to me.
Lisa does everything the man says, as she is threatened with a gun. Then the man starts the car and takes her away. Lisa sitting blindfolded in the passenger seat, her clothes bundled at her feet.
I had no clue where we were going. This is going to be it. This is going to be it. Rape and death. Next thing, to my surprise, my abductor makes me get dressed.
The man removes her bindings from her wrists and her ankles, but keeps her blindfolded. Lisa is taken out of the car and into an apartment building. Once inside, she's thrown onto a bed.
He raped me any way you can imagine. He raped me. Very painful. Very painful. I would just go far away. I would sometimes pretend I was in a field of flowers, a happy place. I would just disconnect from the rest of the world and just become completely numb. Tired of living, just tired of being abused. I didn't see any other way out. I didn't want to live. I remember thinking of my family, my sister, my brothers. What are they going to do without me? And I kept thinking, I gotta get out of this some way, somehow. I have to get out of this. I had to reach down deep in my soul. I just had a new sense of wanting to survive. I would do whatever it took.
She asks to go to the bathroom. He refuses. She insists, claiming she would pee right there in the bed if he denies her to go. He allows her to go in, where she could be alone for a moment. Her plan has worked.
I was putting my fingerprints everywhere. The vanity mirror, on the walls, to show the police I was fighting, trying to leave my marks to say, hey, listen, I was here. I was one of his victims.
She knows that to survive, she would need to gain his trust. So she begins a dangerous mind game.
There was a moment we had a conversation. I had asked him, why was he doing this to me? He said, due to a recent breakup, he was getting back at women in general. And I played on his heartstrings. I said, listen, I can be your girlfriend. We don't have to tell anybody how we met. You seem like a pretty nice guy. I had to show he had control and that I respected him, no matter what. One slip, and I would have been dead.
And that's when he said, no, I can't keep you. He told me to get some rest, get some sleep. It'd be over in a little while.
Around 3:30 a.m., the man takes Lisa out into the car. He drives her off blindfolded again. She starts to see her end is near.
As he's putting the blindfold on me, I was trying to tighten my jaw so it would be a little loose.
Everything that I saw, hear, touch, smell, taste, whatever, I would just store it in my memory bank. In case if I did get out of this alive, I can go to the police to get him caught.
I remember the car being loud like it needed a tune-up. I remember the lights passing on the interstate. I could see it beneath my blindfold. I'm trying to see my surroundings, I'm trying to see where I'm at. I knew we were in interstate because the air sound changes, it gets strong. I saw 2 hotels. These 2 hotels were at the intersection of Hillsborough Avenue, he proceeds west. Interstate 275. I remember seeing a silver piercing, shining light hitting my eyes. It was the word Magnum on the dashboard. He decides to pull into a rear parking lot. Tell me to get out of the car. That Grace's gonna kill me here. He told me when I got out, I want you to stay there for 5 minutes, I was frozen. My mind's racing. Should I run? Should I walk? Is he watching me? Is he pointing the gun at me right now? Is he going to run me over by his car?
But he didn't. The man left her there and drove off. After minutes that seemed like an eternity, Lisa finally decides to risk taking off her blindfold.
I took my blindfold off, and the first thing I saw was this beautiful oak tree. And I fell to my knees and I started crying. I knew right there and then my life was going to change forever. To me, it was a sign of a new branch of life.
Now wanting to live my life.
But her struggle is not over yet. When she gets to the police station, she tells a detective everything that happened to her. But because Lisa has such composure, she doesn't look like other victims. And so the detective doesn't believe her. Lisa gets angrier and angrier, but she can't let her kidnapper get away and hurt someone else.
We were finding a body, it averaged out about every 2 weeks. You know if you don't solve it soon, someone else is going to die.
I was asked by my detective to go in and talk to her, and I did talk to her. I took my wallet out of my jacket and showed her the picture of my daughter. And I told her, this is my daughter, she's your age. There's nothing I won't do to protect her. And I'm going to protect you.
I started crying. When I was describing the details of how my abductor looked through my hands, small mustache, pockmarked face, small ears.
I'd never seen a victim of a violent crime like this that had such recall.
The breakthrough was the Rhodes girl's description of this car, the catalyst for a 24-hour surveillance of Long.
He gave me a photo lineup, 6 pictures. I said, that's your guy. Just take your time. You gotta take your time. I'm telling you, that's your guy. He's the one that abducted me.
We were confident we had the right suspect. It was imperative for us to move as quickly as possible.
All of a sudden they said, we've got him. And they ran out into the parking lot. They handcuffed him, put him in the car, read him his rights.
Late this evening, investigating officers from the task force have arrested and charged Robert J. Long, and we have charged him with 9 counts of first-degree murder.
Bobby Joe Long's arrest came with the help of a young girl, a teenager, who he kidnapped. Now, she got away, and then she helped lead detectives to the serial killer.
But how many more would he have killed had it not been for the one victim who escaped him?
November 4th, 1984, Bobby Joe Long released me. I promised myself I would never live as a victim. Bobby Joe Long, thank you. Thank you for choosing me instead of another 17-year-old little girl.
Lisa worked for years as a sheriff's deputy. The one that got away is now the protector.
I know not on my watch will I let any child get hurt. And if they do, I'm gonna be their voice and I'm gonna be their advocate.
I aspirated myself a long time ago to make it my obligation to be the voices of the women's lives who took too soon. Today, as I stand before God, the victims, and the families of the victims, I vow to carry on and be their voice. In memory and honor of the victims, Artis Wick, Lana Long, Michelle Denise Sims, Chanel Williams, Elizabeth Loudenbach, Karen Disfriend, Vicki Elliott, Kimberly Hops, Virginia Johnson, and Kimberly Swan. I didn't want to take the abuse I went through and carry it on in my life. I deserve to treat myself better than that.